Hey everyone, Enrico Fiorinelli, your fitness sensei, and today I wanted to talk to you about diet. I want to give you some basic ground rules that apply regardless of what diet you're following, as well as guide you to find your best eating times and windows, and finally, what foods agree with your system and what don't, and what's ultimately going to be the absolute right diet geared specifically for you. So now, first and foremost, let's start out with the groundwork. If you're going to look to lose weight, you're going to need to eat less calories than you are putting out every day. So now, whether that is by decreasing the number of calories that you're taking in, or it's by increasing the number of calories that you put out, by exercising more, different things like that, it doesn't matter. You need to eat less calories than you're putting in for your body to stop storing energy. Second rule, realize that you are different than every single person you know. You have different gut biomes, you have different prebiotics, probiotics. Your overall body system is different than your next door neighbor. It's different than your twin brother. It's different than everyone that you know, and you need to respect that. And that's why we need to go through a little bit of a process to appreciate what our body is going to respond to the most. The third thing is that you should be eating natural, whole foods that you prepare yourself in your home. Basically, if it comes in a package, you probably shouldn't be eating it. It either has excess preservatives, was prepared different ways, is just complete junk food. The potato chips, the corn chips, you know what I'm talking about, cake. And finally, get rid of the added sweeteners. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what sweetener it is. It doesn't matter if it's Truvia, stevia, sugar, raw sugar, real sugar, honey, all of that stuff. Just get out of it. Get rid of it. You don't need it in your life. I promise you, if you alleviate that from your diet for a short duration of time, you will no longer be able to tolerate it. So now that we have the rules out of the way, also drink more water. Don't care how much you're drinking. If there's any question that you could drink more water, drink more water. Hydration is key. It will curb your appetite. It will have your body flowing better. There is literally not a system in your body that does not use water to function. So let's talk about kind of eating protocol, or what windows to eat. Basically, in short, just lean on what your habits are. Both 6 to 8 meals a day, via a study through Columbia, has been shown to help with increasing your resting metabolic rate, how many calories you burn at rest, and have a higher basal metabolic rate throughout the entire day, versus intermittent fasting, where you're eating in a 6 to 8 or sometimes even as low as a 4-hour window, or you might fast for a couple of days. Both of which have been shown through scientific studies and research to be beneficial to your body for various different reasons. So if you're someone that wakes up hungry every single day, and you're hungry every 2 to 3 hours, or you find yourself crashing very often when you aren't eating, well, then intermittent fasting is probably not going to be right for you. And inversely, if you're someone that struggles to eat breakfast, doesn't tend to think about it, you're not regularly hungry, and now you're force feeding yourself excess meals, eating 6 to 8 meals a day is also probably not going to be right for you. So you need to lean into the habits that you just naturally have. Now that we broke that down, let's talk about the meat and the potatoes of the entire situation. No, I'm not saying that meat and potatoes is necessarily the right diet for everyone, but how do we figure out the right diet for you? Now, throw out your vegan, carnivore, paleo, gluten-free, all of those diets that you hear that are being regularly promoted as the healthy diet, the be-all, end-all for every person. When we're talking about your health and your well-being, it's really about your body's response and adaptations that occur from the food that you're putting into your body. So, how do we figure this out? We figure this out by doing an initial 2 to 4 weeks, so that's 2 weeks to a month, of an elimination diet. Now, when we're on this elimination diet, we're going to eliminate 6 major inflammers, and we're going to remove them from our system. Then, after we do that, again, for 2 weeks to a month, depending on how your body responds, if you have a large detox response where you feel instantaneously better, and you realize that there was a lot of stuff that was kind of not right, and you had a lot of inflammation in your body, well, then guess what? you should probably stick to the full elimination diet for at least a month. And if it's something where you just notice some subtle change, maybe not change very much at all, again, maybe a short duration of time because you might not have the same levels of inflammation as other people. So, the 6 things that we're going to be eliminating. Number 1, and this might seem weird to some people, but eggs could actually be very inflammatory to many people. It doesn't necessarily respond well to a lot of people's diets, so you're going to eliminate eggs. That's going to be number 1. Then we're going to go with the obvious one, sugar. Honestly, I said it before, I will say it again, I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Added, processed, refined sugar does not belong in your diet. It is not something that you should naturally be consuming. Then we have gluten. As we hear more and more often, not everyone has celiac disease, not everyone has a gluten allergy, but people have different varying degrees of gluten sensitivities, and by eliminating it, you figure out if you're one of those people. If you perpetually have a baseline of some inflammation in your system, you'll never figure that out. Next, and kind of along the same lines, is dairy. A lot of people haven't adapted appropriately to be able to digest dairy. And when I say dairy, I'm not just talking about cow's milk, I'm talking about goat milk, really anything that you find at your dairy aisle, as well as cheese, butters, all of those things. You need to make sure that you eliminate it. It could be your Achilles heel that's stopping you from seeing the results that you deserve and need, to be blunt. Then, after dairy, we have nuts. A lot of us have varying degrees of sensitivities towards nuts. There might be some nuts and not other nuts, and different things of that nature. So we're just going to eliminate all nuts: tree nuts, peanuts, almonds, cashews, all those things. And yes, I know almonds are a seed, but we're going to eliminate our nuts. Lastly, we're going to eliminate legumes and soy. So these are our partial proteins. Again, depending on who you are, your gut biome, and different things of that nature, it could be something that could be completely disrupting your system. So obviously we're eliminating a lot of things. This leaves us to, well, what are we eating when we're going through this elimination diet? Well, that really falls down onto what your preferences are, what you tend to like to eat. You know, when I do my elimination diet, where I tend to do an elimination diet at least once a year, I'll do it for a month. When I go through the protocol, I lean very heavily on chicken and spinach. Those are my kind of 2 go-tos, and I'll eat just tons of chicken and spinach for roughly a month. You know, if you lean more towards fish and you're having tuna fish or different things of that nature, again, it's really just about kind of having an easy to digest protein, starch, and vegetable there that are going to absorb well and react well with your body. So again, for you, it might be chicken and rice, it might be chicken and potatoes, it might be tuna fish and rice, kind of really whatever you can have that is going to be basic, easy to digest. And personally, when I do the elimination diet, I literally keep it super simple, where I'm not having a bunch of different sources of protein and different things like that. Now that you finish your elimination diet, how do we then kind of figure out the sustainability? Because obviously eating only a handful of foods all the time is not something that's really sustainable for most people. So what you do is you integrate one food every 2 days. And now when I say one food every 2 days, I'm not talking about like pizza as a food. I'm talking about tomatoes, bread, cheese. These are all different individual foods. So really just one ingredient per day, and you're paying attention to how your body responds to this food. Now what this is going to do is it's going to empower you. So if you notice something inflames your body, you feel run down, it beats you up in that 2-day period, well, now at least you know. You might not give it up forever, especially if it's one of your favorite things to eat. However, you at least know that limiting it will help your body respond better. You'll have better gut health. You'll feel better. You'll digest better. And you'll see the results that you're looking for. My name is Enrico Fiorinelli. I'm the Fitness Sensei. I want you to comment below when you're going to start your elimination diet, because I want us all to do this together. I'll catch you later. I'm starting mine on Monday. Have a good one.